Hey dude, I'm Ducky Duke at Nexus Island, and we are playing Tales of Monkey Island. We are on the 4th chapter, and in the middle of a trail. So let's get in there and do some damage.
I'd like to call Hemlock McGee back to the stand.
I'm right here.
I'd like to
I'm
remind...
still under oath.
Just a moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, pirates and assorted buccaneers, Hemlock McGee has asserted that it was I, Guybrush Threepwood, mighty pirate, that brought about the horrible emotional scars that even now leave poor Miss Pretty Whiskers paralyzed with fear. But I put it to you that it was not your humble defendant who traumatized Hemlock's unfortunate feline, but a far more insidious assailant, and one who's in this very courtroom as I speak. J'accuse Jacques the Monkey!
What?
Objection, there's no evidence of monkey play here.
No? Let's ask the victim.
Always monkey play.
Miss Pretty Whiskers!
Miss Pretty Whiskers is up and about and seeking revenge just like a good pirate cat should.
Miss Pretty Whiskers, come back! We'll get our revenge together.
Your Honor, I rest my case.
Mr. Prosecutor!
Well, considering that my client and evidence just ran out the door, I guess old Stan's gonna have to drop this one.
Good idea! In the case of McGee and Pretty Whiskers versus Threepwood, the Pirate Court of Flotsam finds in favor of the defendant, Guybrush Threepwood!
Come on, Judge, hit him with the pox.
Don't make me send the bailiff up there! Let's see here. Cleared? Dropped? Yes. Congratulations, Captain Threepwood. It appears that you have successfully gotten yourself out from under your various civil charges.
Shiver me timbers, Stumpy. I guess I'll be going now.
Hold on, what's this? There appears to be a criminal charge on the other side of this blasted paper.
Huh? Assault with molten nacho cheese isn't criminal? What else is there?
The creation, incubation, dissemination, proliferation, and mastication of a pox or pox-like affliction. A Class 1 felonious act here on Flotsam.
Oh, Christ.
How do you plead?
Not guilty.
On what grounds?
The pox isn't my fault. It's LeChuck's. It all started with the cursed cutlass of Kaflu. Off the Rock of Gelato, LeChuck was doing something evil with monkeys, and I was all brrr. But then LeChuck broke my root beer bottle, and I had to substitute some of the Voodoo Lady's ingredients, and then LeChuck turned into a human, and all this voodoo went boom, and... well, it's not my fault.
Your Honor, the defendant is hand-waving. And believe me, I know from hand-waving. But seriously, we all know that the cloud of pox vexing this fair island arrived soon after the defendant and his oozing appendage crept upon these shores.
Disgusting it was.
Then, after infecting everyone in sight, the pox cloud magically blew away at exactly the same moment that Guybrush sailed away, stealing Flotsam's only ship, I might add.
I won that ship, fair and square.
Now, Threepwood has returned, and so has the cloud of pox. What a coincidence! And yet here he stands concocting fanciful stories of a human LeChuck, voodoo cutlasses, and a so-called rock of gelato.
Well, Threepwood, do you have any witnesses to your unlikely tale?
I do. She's... Wonder Bunny.
Avast, ye blubbering belugas! I'm sacking your port! Bring me all your spoils, swags, booty, and boodle!
Lane, less plunder, more money, please.
And you, me bonny lass, step into me captain's quarters and let me ravish you,
Oh, boy.
Ah, to finally hold you in me arms again, it makes me want to... What's this? The scent of betrayal? Who is this tawdry wench?
Nobody. No one.
She'll die by me rusty blade!
There's my witness.
Then she must be summoned. Bailiff, serve the woman immediately.
Yes, sir.
You'd better be using the voodoo summons. That saucy sea hag doesn't look like she be respecting the customs of pirate law.
Aye, aye, sir.
But first, hold the defendant's pox-spreading keister back to the brig!
All right, you. Stay put until I summon your ball and chain.
I wouldn't call her that. She
Ow!
might... Oof. Take exception. What happened to you?
Oh, I'll tell you what happened. I went to Club 41 to hand this summons to your better half, and she backhanded me right out of the bar. Ugh.
Ouch.
If you want that banshee on the stand, you're gonna have to serve her yourself.
I need a sponge for that.
I'm gonna go see if the local doctor can fix me jawbone.
Poor devil.
What the... Oh, ladies' night.
Guybrush, your wife has lost her mind.
And you're about to lose a limb, you sea cow!
Elaine, sugar cakes, let's stop fighting and work this out over a nice cold light grog.
It's her head or yours, bilge boy!
Or you two can just figure out this little misunderstanding on your own. I'll be over here appreciating my head's ability to stay attached to my neck. A recipe for something called a Fat Island Fuzzy Nostril. Seems simple enough. The only way to drag Elaine into court is to get this voodoo summons into her hands.
Three angry women in one bar. It's fun. Oh, would you look at that?
There's nothing left of this buffet but a few scraps of tofanity paste and a light ranch dressing.
Nope. Free.
How about a towel, sir?
Thanks. Ooh, really needed that.
Okay.
Ew, what was that? Hey, what's this piece of paper stuck? It's a recipe for a drink called a Tri-Island Tuna Colada. Looks complicated.
I'm gonna go with complicated on this one.
It's complicated.
I bet I'm not the one to make it. Oh, that's not the one.
Hey, darling,
What?
would you mind taking this?
Only if you don't mind taking this.
Hey, Morgan,
What?
would you mind handing this to Elaine?
Sorry, I've got my hands full trying to keep myself alive without killing your wife.
Yikes!
Get out of the way, you blithering hunk of man meat.
I won't be able to get any closer to the dartboard with those hell kittens in the way. Yikes!
I want the darts. That suddenly appeared again.
That doesn't need to be illuminated. Morgan! What do you think you're doing?
Don't ask me. Ask your crazy wife.
I'm gonna run you through, you high seas hussy.
Can't you two just work it out over a nice grogatini?
V, Guybrush Threepwood is buying me a drink?
Over your dead body, trollop.
Who are you calling Trollop, Schooner Mom?
Oh boy. Hey, Morgan, I think you're losing your edge.
I'll show you an edge. Whoa!
Hey,
Elaine, Hucklebear, Morgan's all bark and no bite.
You want bite? You got it! And I'll throw in the bark for free! Whoa!
so what do I do with that?
Ladies, please, there's plenty of Guybrush Threepwood to go around.
Well, that won't be when I'm done with ya.
Get over yourself, Threepwood!
Yikes. Elaine, you should know that Morgan and I spent a few nights together inside of a manatee.
Inside of a what? You're a dog, Guybrush Threepwood. Ah!
Okay, I'm gonna go think of something clever. Try not to kill each other while I'm away.
Yeah!
So I gotta get the note to hang on the dartboard, right?
Yikes!
Get out of the way, you blithering hunk of man meat.
I won't be able to get any closer to the dartboard with those hell kittens in the way. Yikes!
Probably isn't the time for one.
Yikes!
Get out of the way, you blithering hunk of man meat.
I won't be able to get any closer to the dartboard with those hell kittens in the way.
Sugar?
It's Grindstump's ant-distracting sugar sack. Hot, gooey wax. That doesn't need to be illuminated. Hey, Krebs.
What do you want?
Tell me, Did it hurt
Did what hurt?
when you fell out of pirate heaven?
No, but this will.
Stay away from Guybrush, you sea hog!
That helps.
Yikes!
Now's your chance, dude.
Yipes!
Would you mind steering clear of the dartboard? Now that I've found me darts, I need to practice before tomorrow night's tournament.
Yipes! Hey, WP. Looks like Ladies' Night has picked up a bit.
Picked up a little too much for my taste. These she-beasts have scared away all me eligible, hard-drinking, hard-spending pirate bachelors.
Would you mind knocking it off with the darts for a minute?
Not on your life! I need to get in a week's worth of practice before tomorrow night's tournament, and who knows how long those hellions will stay out of my way!
Barkeep, I'd like to order a drink.
What'll it be?
How about some more of those volcano shots?
Sorry, one per customer.
Barkeep, I'd like to order a drink.
What'll it be?
Can you make one of these?
A Tri-Island Tuna Colada? Arr, that takes me back. I haven't made one of these since I was a bosun under Captain Bo.
But can you make one? I'm really in the mood.
Aye, but it'll take some doing to scrounge up the ingredients.
Take your time. I'll just put this here for safekeeping.
Done! One Tri-Island Tuna Colada. Now I can get back to me darts.
Arr! Libations!
Ah, gimme!
Libations.
Okay, this is really flattering, but let's calm down and talk this out like adults.
I'll be calm when the flay's been filleted like a fish.
Wow, Morgan, you're pretty handy with a sword.
Is that so? What else is she handy with?
Elaine, Tucklebear. Morgan's all bark and no bite.
You want bite? You got it! And I'll throw in the bark for free!
Huh? Good for nothing words getting in the way of my killing.
Honey, you are formally summoned to appear before the court of Judge Grindstump in the case of the people of Flotsam versus Guybrush Threepwood, Mighty Pirate. TM.
Phew! Now I know who wears the daddy pants in the relationship.
You stay away from my boy's pants, or I'll hang you from my Jolly Roger, you Jezebel! And you, don't think you can totter around with some tart and not get a fistful of what?
She's a catch.
And conveniently not a rotten double-crosser.
I told you I had a job to do.
Sure, just doing your job. Tell me, aside from all the silver, how are the benefits?
Guybrush.
Do you get health care for the repetitive stress injuries caused by all the backstabbing and cutting off people's hands?
I said I was sorry.
Sorry? I can't pick my left nostril without risking a lobotomy.
What if
What if nothing? Goodbye, Morgan. I've got a wife to cure and an island to save. Mrs. Threepwood.
gonna go bad no matter what, ain't it?
Honey, why don't you please tell everyone how I've been trying to find a cure for the pox?
Don't you honey me, you two-timing cannon scrubber. I bet all this talk of looking for La Esponja Grande was all plot to spend time canoodling with your little privateering she-slag.
La Esponja Grande, yes, it's right over there, see?
Sure it is.
Please tell the court how this horrible pox is all LeChuck's fault.
LeChuck? That stick in the mud wouldn't know a good pox if it kicked him in the fundament. Heck, there wouldn't even be a pox if you'd gone through with the voodoo lady's recipe properly. But no, you had to wave that root beer bottle around like some sort of conquering hero. Oh, look at me! I be Guybrush Threepwood, mighty pirate! Next thing I know, you're trying to replace root beer with root grog and bam! Pox all over the place. Not that I'm complaining, mind ya.
Okay. Honey, why don't you please tell everyone how I've been trying to find a cure for
Don't you honey me, you two-timing cannon.
La Esponja Grande.
Sure it is.
Could you give the court some idea of what a fine, upstanding pirate your husband is?
Well, let's see. When I first met him, he was breaking into my mansion to steal a statue. Later, after shanghaiing a crew to take him to Monkey Island, he totally failed to rescue me from the evil clutches of the ghost pirate LeChuck, so I had to dress up a couple of monkeys in a bridal gown.
This may have been a bad line of questioning.
Then he left me hanging over a pit while he went looking for the treasure of Big Whoop. I didn't hear from him for 3 years after that. Turned me into a bleeding statue! Left the seat up. Oh, and that's not even mentioning all the times I've found myself tied up, manacled, or otherwise incarcerated because of his blithering idiocy!
You're too good for him, love.
Shave his belly with a rusty razor.
I'd like a second to think about my next move, Your Honor.
Make it fast! Your character witness is oozing all over my courtroom!
Honey, look! They confiscated your ring!
You let someone take it from you? Didn't I tell you never to let it out of your sight?
Yeah,
Got me no buts, love of mine.
Your Honor, Buccaneers of Flotsam, you all believe that I, Guybrush Threepwood, Mighty Pirate, have brought this horrible pox to your shores.
Off with it,
Run him off the plank.
Jungle Beast!
What if I were to tell you that I could tame this unruly witness, prove my good intentions, and begin the process of curing you all of this hideous voodoo pox, all in one fell swoop?
I don't know.
Lead him to the Jungle Beast!
Your Honor, I object. Defense is grasping at sponge-shaped straws here.
Denied! But get on with it, Captain! The hangman gets overtime if we keep him up after midnight!
With pleasure, Your Honor. Wenches and pirates, I give you Exhibit S, the wonder of La Esponja Grande.
I thought it'd be bigger.
Now behold, as a simple exfoliating motion of La Esponja Grande washes away the pox, restoring my wife to her usual, mostly pleasant demeanor. Sugar cakes?
Off with it, head!
Get that piece of seaweed off me, you deep-sea doily diver!
Does the defense have any other pointless arguments it would like to make?
This is sort of all I got.
Then, by the power vested in me by the put-upon pirates of Flotsam Island, I summarily sentence you to be hanged by your pox-spreading neck until you are... Right there.
What? Woof.
What is the meaning of this?
My name is LeChuck, and I can tell you exactly what Guybrush did.
LeChuck? I thought he was a ghost.
I heard he was a zombie.
Don't listen to him!
You see, Your Honor, the pox is all my fault.
Listen to him!
For decades, I dabbled in the dark forces of voodoo, clamoring for power. I hungered for it. I yearned for it. I pillaged, plundered, and killed for it.
I can attest to all of this.
And it was my accumulated voodoo that infected you all. Dark, evil voodoo that was explosively released when I was once again defeated by the perpetually heroic Guybrush Threepwood.
He's not kidding. I've killed him like 5 times.
So you see, Guybrush Threepwood is not the source of this pox. I am. And I hereby throw myself upon the mercy of this court, or lack thereof.
Off with your head!
But wait, there's more. It turns out I had an unknown silent power urging me down those darkened voodoo corridors. A power far more insidious than I could ever hope to be. I submit to the court this journal, property of the... Quiet up there! The Voodoo Lady!
Ooh! That creepy lady who lives in the shack?
What the what?
In these pages you will find detailed plans, laid out by the Voodoo Lady over the course of many years, to manipulate my never-ending rise to power. My hunger for voodoo, my seemingly endless cycle of ironically comical death and disturbing resurrection. My obsession with the darling Elaine. It's all because of her.
Off with her head!
Lead him to the jungle beast!
It can't be true. Can it?
Order! Order! I hereby call for the release of Guybrush Threepwood and the immediate imprisonment of LeChuck and the Voodoo Lady! To the brig with both of them!
I bet it up to me eye patch with all this land-loving lollygagging. I'll plunder me some treasure.
Don't worry about me, my friend. Go cure your wife.
What happened to the sponge?
Well, I'm finally free, but now my pox-crazed wife is nowhere to be found. A mad scientist is hunting her for who knows what reason, and the legendary voodoo sponge that was supposed to cure her has turned out to be useless. Under normal circumstances, I'd ask the voodoo lady for help, but she's sitting in the jail cell next to my archenemy, who may or may not be my best friend, after it's been revealed that she's been the secret power behind most of my travails over most of my life as a pirate. Maybe I should have been a beekeeper like my Uncle Sid.
Yes, I know. Alright. Well, I see.
Hey, you!
Hello, Threepwood.
You sent me on a wild albatross chase for La Esponja Grande and promised me it would cure the pox. But after fending off sexually ambiguous merpeople, a giant manatee, and your crazy ex-boyfriend, what do I get for my trouble? This sorry excuse for a kitchen sponge.
La Sponja.
Ah, I noticed you strategically left out the Grande from this worthless piece of junk. Once it cured my piddly leftover pox, it didn't have enough mojo left to cure Elaine.
It's not worthless. It is merely young. It must be brought to maturity in order to reach its voodoo-absorbing potential.
What to maturity? How am I supposed to do that? Give it a talk about the sponge birds and sponge bees?
Like all infants, La Esponja needs nourishment. It must be fed 6 special voodoo courses to bring it to adult size.
What sort of meal is that?
A feast for the senses. The menu, Threepwood. Take it, and serve the sponge a meal unlike any other.
And then?
It will grow.
Hey, neat! There's a map of the Flotsam Jungle on the cover. No more listening to bees and birds and boars for this mighty pirate.
Alright. Top fold. Okay. Where's the wishing well? That is the calendar. That's the little statue for the player. Altar. Gateway. No, these are pillars. Bottom fold, let's fold. East for the set. Fused in 6 course. Guaranteed. Big, small, east. First course. Put on a napkin that is sight. Is this the route I have to take? Sight, garish cloth. Garish cloth. Grotesquely bright. Order. Your weak beast will grow to maturity. Substitutions. Courage. Put on a napkin, that's a sight. A garish cloth, grotesquely bright. Top left foot.
That's odd.
There you go.
It's like a whole new map now.
I have to do all this. I hope I'm doing this right. This is where I start, right? I go to the green one. I have no idea how to read this. Peace for the senses. This is the worst one yet. It's the order in which I fold it. How do I know which one to fold and which one not to fold? That's how I got it.
Hey, you! Again!
Hello, Treepwood.
You've been lying to me about LeChuck all these years.
My ways are my own, Guybrush, but rest assured I have never lied to you.
You're lying right now! All this time, I thought LeChuck was an inhuman monster. Actually, he was an inhuman monster, but only because you made him that way.
Did I? Or was I merely playing my role in a much larger play?
Stop trying to confuse me. We're tired of being puppets in your chess game.
This is no game, Treepwood.
I met Coronado de Cava.
My beloved. How was he?
Mad. Bipolar. Life ruined. Just another pawn sacrificed in your theater of the damned.
I never meant to cause him harm.
Sure you didn't. So, when I was with de Cava, you might have felt something strange happen.
Ah, you are no doubt alluding to your brief possession of my physical form.
Ha! How did it feel to be the Manipulate Ted instead of the Manipulator for once?
It was curiously liberating.
You're weird. Come on, admit it. You were manipulating Coronado.
Coronado was never touched by my voodoo, even though he sometimes begged to be.
I'm not sure we're talking about the same thing anymore, so I'll just shut up. Have you seen Elaine? Of course, even if you have, I won't believe you.
So whether I have or have not does not matter.
Well, if you do, tell LeChuck, and then have him tell me.
Yeah.
You corrupted LeChuck and sent him out to torment me and Elaine for years. I'll never trust you again.
I don't require your trust, Treepwood, only your heroism.
You've been lying to me about LeChuck all these years.
My ways are my own, Guybrush, but rest assured I have never lied.
You're lying right now. All this...
Did I? Or was I merely playing?
Stop.
This is no game.
Well, kind of is.
About this feast for the senses,
What would you like to know?
the first course in the feast for the senses, the napkin. What's up with that?
The table must be set with an eye-catching napkin to entice the sponge's hunger.
The antipasta? Explain.
With the table set, a powerful aroma must encourage the appetite to grow.
I think my nose has been in shock since traversing the inside of a manatee.
I'm sure you will find something.
Can you give me any more insight about the antipasta?
I can't say what exactly would be appropriate for the Feast of the Senses. Fetid sweetmeats, perhaps. Dry, aged deep within the jungle. Something of that nature.
Oh, appetizing. Can you tell me about the palate cleanser?
Before the main course, the palate must be scalded clean by a powerful taste.
Ooh, like grog?
No, not at all like grog.
Palate cleanser.
Something of such grand flavor as to send the senses back to square one.
Big flavor. Got it.
You're not happy with the map, though, that's the problem.
I'm still drawing a blank about the powerful taste.
I sense it somewhere in Club 41.
It says here that course 4, the main course, is the sixth sense. doesn't even make sense.
Ah, but it does. For where the other 5 senses are limited to the finite experiences of the present, the 6th sense satiates the appetite for the infinite possibilities of the future.
The future? How do I feed something the future?
You already hold the answer to that question.
Must be in my pocket.
This sixth sense business is all pretty abstract.
You must find something that will allow the sponge to sense the future. As I said, you already possess the key to finding it.
I was gonna say 8 ball, but no, it's crystal ball. Fourth course is 6th.
It says here that course 4, the main course, is the sixth sense.
Ah, but it does.
The future?
You all...
What about the dessert? This is one hungry sponge.
Ah, what is your favorite thing about dessert, Guybrush?
Running out before the check arrives?
No, it is the pleasurable shock of something different.
Ah. So the sponge needs a big shock for dessert.
Yes.
It says the feast for the senses ends with a bellowing belch.
Do not worry about this. If you provide La Esponja the first 5 courses, the location of the final course will undoubtedly reveal itself.
Ah, my favorite type of responsibility. The one that takes care of itself.
What about the map, though?
Alright, enough about the feast for now. Try not to get executed before I cure Elaine.
As you wish.
Well, Chuck!
Guybrush!
I would have bet my good hand I'd never say this, but thank you
For what? I've caused you nothing but despair.
for taking the fall back there, and for exposing the voodoo lady. I don't know what to make of any of it, but now I can focus on saving Elaine and dealing with the pox.
It is the very least I could do. But be careful, Guybrush.
I'm always careful.
This from the guy who proposed to his wife with the cursed engagement ring you stole from my hold?
Is that a dig? Is the evil demon pirate LeChuck developing a sense of humor? This is weird. Where have you been? I thought you were with Elaine.
Well, after leaving Spinner Cay, Elaine and I set out to finish releasing all those monkeys I'd captured. After we were finished releasing the last of them, Elaine caught wind of your trial, went into a poxed rage, seized a passing clam schooner, and made a beeline for Flotsam Island.
That's my girl.
Needless to say, I took my own vessel and headed after her. But in the middle of the night, my ship was sunk by a rogue wave. I was washed up on an island of cannibals, from whom I deftly escaped, using many of the self-same skills you taught me back on the Jerkbait Islands.
You know, it's amazing how easily man-eating tribes can be reasoned with.
Knowing I needed to get here more than ever, I lashed together a few bits of cannibal leftovers and warthog sinew to build a makeshift raft. Unfortunately, that was soon eaten by the sharks.
Oh no!
So I swam. I swam as fast as I could for 3 days.
And arrived just in time to save me from the gallows. Nicely done, buddy.
Probably could have just sat in my hat, couldn't you? That's big enough.
Kudos to your swim instructor.
I was fueled by the fire of our budding friendship.
I can't believe the voodoo lady has been pulling your ghostly / demonic strings all these years.
It came as a shock to me as well. But her diary spells it all out. You, me, Elaine, we're all part of the voodoo lady's malevolent plans.
Malevolence is in the eye of the beholder, Guybrush Threepwood. I know this is difficult to understand, but things are not as they seem.
No, things seem remarkably convoluted, which is what I've come to expect from you.
I've always had your best interests at heart.
Well, what about my interests? Without your meddling, I could have lived a normal, happy pirate's life.
Ha! The destiny of LeChuck has never been normal.
How about the mountain of ice on the roller coaster of the damned? She was behind that?
Especially that.
I risked life, limb, and manatee to get La Esponja Grande, and it's a puny, worthless lump.
What?
Soak up the gargantuan wonder that is La Esponja Grande.
That is La Esponja Grande? But wasn't it supposed to hold infinite amounts of voodoo?
I know. What a crock.
The size of the sponge is meaningless. It is what you do with it that matters.
Oh, yeah?
Well,
you fight like a...
The sponge is still small.
Most unfortunate.
So, Miss Spooky Pants gave me this menu which will supposedly put more grande in my esponja.
Excellent!
You want to put some of your newfound deductive reasoning to the test and help me figure out what I need for the menu?
I'd give my beard to be able to help you, but I'm afraid my pirate mind is not fit for such things.
It explains why after all these years you still allowed me to get within a nautical mile of you with a bottle of voodoo root beer. Got any deep thoughts about this voodoo menu?
I'm afraid I'm useless here, Guybrush.
Sit tight, buddy. Once I save Elaine, you're next.
Don't worry about me.
Right. I don't know how to read that. Might have to do some research on that before we get anywhere. Oh, would you look at that?
Stan!
Threepwood! No hard feelings over all those various civil and criminal charges?
Water under the bridge.
Great.
A bridge with a fast-talking shyster/salesman dangling from it. Still trying to make a buck on my recently cleared name?
Nah, I sold all that junk to that Dooro sap. I've moved on to the next trial of the century. Flotsam Island versus LeChuck and the Voodoo Lady.
Yeah, how are sales going now?
Great! People can't get enough of the Voodoo Lady's murky moral ambiguity, mysterious unexplored backstory, and her ample...
La 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 la, I'm not listening, la la la.
voodoo charms. And as for LeChuck, well, let's just say the lady pirates love a tale of redemption. The whole bad boy made good angle.
Ah. Have the Voodoo Lady and LeChuck been put on trial yet?
Have they? It's the trial of the century!
Wait, I thought I was the trial of the century.
Yesterday's news, Threepwood.
So, what kind of case are you building against LeChuck and the Voodoo Lady?
Oh, I'm not prosecuting them. I'm defending them.
What? Why?
Why do I do anything, Threepwood? Money! Pieces of 8! Filthy lucre! That Voodoo Lady babe is loaded! Funny thing though, she only let me take the case if I defend LeChuck, too.
Funny like a peg leg. So, what kind of case are you building against LeChuck?
Oh, I'm not
What?
Why do I do... Funny thing though...
Funny... What kind of souvenirs could you possibly be making out of the Voodoo Lady and LeChuck?
Oh, ye of little faith! Feast your eyes on the all-new People vs. LeChuck and the Voodoo Lady collection!
What's this?
That's a little decorative pin I've whipped up.
Trial of the Century 2. Electric Voodoo Loop.
We're still working on a title.
What's that one?
That's our Cursed Cutlass of Cthulhu LeChuck doll. Press the button for its special transforming glow.
What's happening?
It's a little bright.
Yeah, we're still working out a few kinks.
We don't need that.
What's happening?
What's that?
It's my entrancing Voodoo Lady dashboard good luck charm.
Ugh, disturbing. On second thought,
Say no more.
I don't suppose you'd be willing to sell me your eye-bending jacket.
Give up my jacket? That'd be like Samson getting a buzz cut, or King Arthur losing Excalibur, or Bluebeard dyeing himself blonde.
Huh?
Without my jacket, my salesman mojo would wither away faster than a hothouse orchid in a pizza oven.
So that's a maybe? Sure you don't want to sell me your pupil-defying jacket? It's for a good cause.
This jacket stays with Stan until it literally falls off my back, Threepwood.
Not so.
Have you seen my wife?
Have I? That crazy sea devil hit me up for one of my patented and perfectly passable porcelain power pirate treasure maps before hightailing it for the jungle. If we're lucky, that thing will keep her going around in circles for weeks.
Just what I always wanted. An ant-infested sack of sugar. I wonder what happened to Murray.
Still on that.
Ew.
To clear the palate, is that a bag of sugar?
Hey, Krebs.
What do you want?
Hey, Krebs. Now that your case has been dismissed, care to join me in a little post-trial amicus curiae?
Was that a pickup line?
I don't know. My Latin's a little rusty. Bye. La Esponja Grande won't work on anyone until it's been fed its feast for the senses. I don't need to use the facilities right now. Besides, that towel guy was a little creepy. Ah, this must be the screaming narwhal that my ship is named after. Creepy. Are you pirate enough to take the Fugu Jalokia challenge?
Heck yeah.
Fugu Jalokia. Seems pretty harmless.
Alright, I'm gonna do that. It's probably a switch around.
Fugu Jalokia. Seems pretty harmless. Are you pirate enough to take the Fugu Jalokia challenge?
Asking for it.
Hey, WP. Tell me about this Fugu Jalokia challenge.
Ah, a connoisseur of peculiar culinary delights, are we?
Yes?
Then you surely have heard of the Fugu Jalokia, the hottest pepper in this world or the next.
Oh, that Fugu Jalokia.
I acquired that specimen of the fugu pepper many years ago from a three-legged bandit named Ort, winning it from him when I was able to place me tongue on the pepper for 10 entire seconds.
How eccentric.
Since that tongue-destroying day, I vowed to pass on the pepper to the first pirate who can successfully put his tongue on the Fugu Jalokia for 11 seconds.
Well, there is a puddle of wax down there. No longer than curtain.
Guess they decided to put the rug inside after it was cleaned. Hot, gooey wax.
Yeah, I need to pick it up now. Let's not let them get any more cups.
4!
Yikes!
Would you mind steering clear of the dartboard? Now that I've found me darts, I need to practice before tomorrow night's tournament.
Do I get to enter the tournament? That'd be pretty cool. This guy really sucks now.
Hey, WP. Barkeep, I'd like to order a drink.
What'll it be?
How about some more of those volcano shots?
Sorry, one per customer.
Barkeep, I'd like to order a drink.
What'll it be?
How about another one of those Fat Island fuzzy nostrils?
Here you go.
Hey, WP. Barkeep, I'd like to order a drink.
What'll it be?
Isn't there another one? I had 2 recipes.
On second thought, I'm not as thirsty as I thought.
Dar.
I told you I was innocent.
Well, bully for you! Meanwhile, we're still all poxed, there's a creepy voodoo priestess in my jail, and your wife's still threatening to sack our town. Truly, these are the best of times.
Yeah. Why? I didn't even have the choice to put my tongue on the pepper.
Okay, Pepper, prepare to meet your master. Okay, mental note. The Fugu Jalokia is hot to the touch, too.
Gonna have to use my hook on it now.
Hey, WP. I'd like to take the Fugu Jalokia challenge.
I thought you looked like a man of gastronomic adventure. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a challenger!
Whoopee!
Whoopee!
Whenever you're ready, lad.
Yeah, not quite there, but I'm gonna just see what happens. Get some experience going on this.
Ah, now that's using your mighty pirate brain, Threepwood. Ouch.
Either wax or something cool. Don't have anything cool. Unless there's some twists. Can always do it this way. Napkin.
If Hemlock's telling the truth about this critter, it's got a stench that could peel the barnacles off my rudder. Ouch!
What was that? Is that the doormat? This might be the napkin.
Guess they decided to put the rug inside after it was cleaned. Ouch!
Static electricity, I'm guessing. So,
That lamp is leaking oil.
Not just any oil, manatee oil.
Oh, that's not right.
yeah, you can lose the weight, dude. So, how do I do stand?
Who go? Oh, it's you.
Can I go back in? I think I left several useful items in there.
Court is adjourned until the new defendants prepare their cases.
What was that? Something sure shoved a short sword up his aft sail. Say there, unbiased citizen.
What do you want?
Are you as scandalized as I am by this trial?
I'm just glad that scum-sucking LeChuck and that scum-sucking voodoo lady will finally be brought to justice.
Gee, you suck a little scum and everyone wants your head. Have you seen my wife?
Does she have red hair, green eyes, and a mole in the shape of a cocker spaniel on her left thigh?
Yes.
Nope, haven't seen her.
Why did someone order... See ya.
It's getting repetitive. Monkey style. So that's probably the monkey right now.
Hi there, Double Peg. Have you seen my wife?
I tore through here like a cat out of hell, off into the jungle.
What exactly are you doing?
Trying to figure out why poor Miss Pretty Whiskers won't move for me.
She's probably just not getting enough iron in her diet. I forgot the tale of the jungle bee.
None. Me.
Good See ya.
Boat's gone, well. Yeah. But it should find
Morgan left Mr. Winslow circling the island, just outside the reach of Flotsam's winds.
Well, time to end the video. Not just yet. Gigabytes. That's about 40 minutes or so. Page.
What the?
Murray? No. Oh.
Morgan! What happened?
Went to get your hand.
You didn't have to do that.
Had to pay you back for all the trouble. Found Jacques. He told me.
What?
He told me.
What? What did the monkey tell you?
You can reanimate her later. Probably.
Singe.
You're not gonna take the sword?
Singe will pay for this.
Can I go outside and check the weather thingy? Microscope.
It's broken. This must have been broken in the fight between Morgan and Singe. I hope the vole escaped. Lepidoptera flotsamus accelerus. Like many of its more common cousins, the sharp-toothed Flotsam Island moth has a penchant for noshing on articles of clothing. Where Flotsamus accelerus differs is in the pain of its bites, which can be quite annoying, and the rapidity of its meals. A swarm of flotsam moths can strip a man down to his undergarments in mere seconds, assuming the notoriously finicky moths approve of his wardrobe, of course. Lepidoptera flotsamus accelerus. Like many of its more common cousins, where a swarm of flotsam moths can...
Watch out for the moths.
I could try to mix up those chemicals, but I'd probably just end up exploding. And not in the funny way. Auto trepanation helmet. Ow! Ah! I'm blind! Ugh.
Let's do that again.
Ow! What the... Ow! What's it? My thumb! God, blah. Ow! Whoa!
Tongue small, blind, upside down.
Help?
Is that supposed to do anything? Where do we set up the buffet?
Vampiridae Flotzimus sucrosus, the flotsam jungle firefly, are a common sight in Flotsам's jungles, which they never leave. Although possessing no natural enemies, the Flotzimus sucrosus has a notorious sweet tooth, drawing it inexorably to bodies of sugar water.
Alright, we can make that.
Vampiridae Flotsam. Although possessing no natural enemies, the Flotzimus sucrosus has a notorious sweet tooth, drawing it inexorably to bodies of sugar water.
Gotta remember that.
It looks like Desinge is using my hand to make something called the Jus de Vie. The Vacalian wind control device? What is that creep doing with it now? That doesn't look good. It looks like Desinge is using my hand to make something called the Jus de Vie. Did Desinge murder you too? It's locked. It's locked.
Flimsily locked door.
Oh no. This is where the Marquis keeps all the severed limbs of the pirates he's operated on. Hey, you never know when a sack of severed legs is gonna come in handy. Or footy, as the case may be. Sorry.
Legs. Sack of severed legs. Cannibals? Disturbing.
The Vacalian wind control device? What is that creep doing with it now?
So, that's it. Banana pet. No.
Darn, no more bananas. Curse you, banana god.
Shock pedal.
It'd take a 7-year correspondence course in mad sciencing before I'd even have a hope of fixing that thing. That doesn't need to be illuminated.
So, that's sugar water for these, and what was it for these guys?
Lepidoptera Flotzimus accelerus. Like many of its more common cousins, the sharp-toothed Flotsam Island moth has a penchant for noshing on articles of clothing. Where Flotzimus accelerus differs is in the pain of its bites, which can be quite annoying, and the rapidity of its meals. A swarm of flotsam moths can strip a man down to his undergarments in mere seconds, assuming the notoriously finicky moths approve of his wardrobe, of course. Vampiridae Flotzimus sucrosus, the flotsam jungle firefly, are a common sight in Flotsam's jungles, which they never leave. Although possessing no natural enemies, the Flotzimus sucrosus has a notorious sweet tooth, drawing it inexorably to bodies of sugar water.
Trepanation helmet. What is this good for? Anything at all?
Ow! What? My thumb!
tongue, small, blind, and upside down. Rest in pieces.
God, blah. This must have been broken in the fight between Morgan and DeSinge. I hope the Vole escaped.
Getting a bit confusing not having the options to pick up them. Like the carp, I had no clue what's going on. How am I going to get it off the planet? I guess we go into the jungle next. There, it's going to take forever to see that.
What in the name of Bluebeard's hair dye?
Hey, no poaching. I have called dibs.
I think I may be lost. Shouldn't there be a creepy voodoo shack right about there?
There was, until they came to arrest that pox-spreading voodoo lady.
What happened?
First came the flames. Poor Senor Nipperkin went up like St. Elmo's fire. Then she emerged from the conflagration, mumbling ancient curses with every regal step. I never forget the baleful stare she fixed me with as she was led away. A look condemning me to a lifetime of suffering, shame, and regret.
Spooky.
And if that wasn't bad enough, I haven't found one bit of cool voodoo stuff in the wreckage. Come on!
Mob justice can be so unfair.
Come on. Well,
Even when it's burned to the ground, the voodoo lady's shack is still creepy. What a shame. That rug really tied the shack together.
so these are moths. Deadly.
Looks like the light of the shack's embers has attracted a swarm of jungle moths. That probably explains what happened to the voodoo lady's rug.
These are deadly, right?
What a shame. That rug really tied the shack together. Whoa! Uh-oh. Looks like these finicky moths won't eat a jacket that's encrusted with bacon grease, fish water, and manatee guts. Lucky me.
Alright, got some deadly moths.
It's a good thing those fashion-conscious moths don't appreciate my clothes, or my pockets would have more holes than the Albert Hall.
Legs moths. I guess it's got something to do with the feeding table.
What a shame.
That's it.
that's weird. This whole idol is under one of Crimp Digit's unbreakable glass bottles.
That's new. So this is yellow. No yellow here. There I can go to the circle. There's the wishing well. And from there, any which way I want. That's a dead end. That's the skull. That's the skull too. Altar and exit. So altar, and then to the box. Alright. Let's try.
It looks like the old Vacalian wind control device has been set to suck again. But what's that tubing around its fingers all about?
We're gonna need a generator or something. Yeah, at least that one.
Now that I know a little bit more about the Vacalians, it appears that we're nearing the end of the Year of the Fish, and approaching the dawn of the Year of the Slightly Bigger Fish.
Great. Just keep treading there. There's no backtracking. So, well is up next. I'll take a right to it. Yeah. No. Down or left.
The tide must be high. I can almost reach down and touch the well water. Jungle fireflies, nature's little spotlights.
I pick those up as well with this.
That doesn't need to be illuminated. The fireflies are attracted to the sugar water on the leg. Fascinating. And just a little nauseating.
Did you pick them up? Yeah. Cool.
18, 19, 20, and X marks the... When I get me hands on that plaid-coated scallywag, I'm gonna rip off his waving arms and beat him to a briny pulp with them. What are you looking at?
The secret to eternal life. Le spectre de Grand César!
Doesn't look like Elaine's in any immediate danger. Hopefully she won't commit any unforgivable atrocities before I finish enlarging my pox-curing sponge.
So he's not the one that bought all the U's? Pistolibra's journal. Pistolibra. Despite repeated efforts to lace bait tracking elements, Beast's spore remains indistinguishable from jungle floor. Oh, if only the beast left a path of bright as float some beautiful jungle fireflies. Wait, what's that smell? Anybody? Is there anything more? Alright, so X marks the spot. Alright, we go right.
Bet that's the sacrificial altar of the jungle beast that Hemlock was rambling about.
And he put down a sacrifice, but what was it? This is all I got.
Alas, poor Hemlock. I knew it, this limb, a leg of infinite toe jam, of most excellent thigh cheese. It hath borne its owner's creaking frame 1,000 times, and now how clammy and gross within my grasp it wriggles. Oh well. Soup's on. Uh-oh.
What was it? Well, that didn't do anything useful. Let's check this out. First course, put a napkin that's the sight of garish cloth, grotesquely bright. Antipasta jungle meat gives off a smell like stinky feet. Well, we got feet. Make cloth. Before the main course, cleanse your palate with taste that you like mallet. That's the pepper. Main course will cause quite a flap to find the sixth sense. Use your map. Shock. Not find the sixth sense. Use your map. Okay. Now engulf small dessert. A touch of shocking. It might hurt. That's the carpet, right? Probably. Meal finished, let out the chair or belch so loud that all can hear. That's probably the statue, right? So altar and face. Is this the thing? Is it just a cube? Okay. And then up to the shaft. Move into the shaft. Over here. And then down.
I wonder who put this idol under glass, and why?
No. Can't do anything to it. Or can we?
No.
Cheese wheel's gone.
I wonder who put this idol under glass, and why?
Alright. Up to the red one.
I wonder who put this idol under glass, and why?
Yep. Keep spinning. All of these keep spinning. They didn't do that before.
You! Again!
Hello, Treepwood.
Your hut is nothing more than a smoldering pile of rubble.
Yes, a destruction of my own doing.
But you had so much neat stuff. The chest of foreshadowing, your creepy rug, all those skulls, that mysterious machine in the corner that didn't do anything.
The objects of utmost importance were taken care of, stored away in a safe place.
Where?
You have the knowledge of its whereabouts with you right now. You must know how, not where, to look.
Couldn't you just tell me directly?
I would, but the walls have ears.
Eyes. They have eyes.
Alright, let's fold this shit. Come on. Work with me here. So, none of this. Red one. I should have folded it when I was there. That's the thing, innit? That's a dead end. That is not a dead end. Alright, how about you? Gotta do this all over again? Alright. Let's go to the shop. Maybe it's in the chest. Thing I need for the Wii controller. I need to go down. And then right and down. So, right down. That should be it, right? Yep, that looks great. There you go.
It's the mysterious chest of foreshadowing from the Voodoo Lady's shack. Who knows what sort of useful voodoo bric-a-brac lurk in its locked timbers? Even more importantly, how am I going to unlock it to find out?
Let's pray the hook works again.
Let's see, what do I have now that I didn't have the last time I tried to open this chest? Ow! Stupid hook! Oh, it can't be that easy. The Voodoo Lady's tarot cards? That's it? I bent the fabric of reality for a stupid fortune teller's trick?
Nice.
Okay, that's a pretty good trick.
Alright. Nothing more to this, is there?
You! Again!
Hello, Treepwood.
About this feast for the senses?
What would you like to know?
Where do I put it out?
This Sixth Sense business is all pretty abstract.
You must find something that will allow the sponge to sense the future. As I said, you already possess the key to finding it.
Alright, enough about the feast for now. Try not to get executed before I cure Elaine.
As you wish.
So I didn't need these. 1, 2, 3. I got 3 ingredients. 4, there's the carpet. Napkin.
I better fold this up before I put it in my pocket.
I have to release the moths or something.
Nah. That doesn't need to be illuminated. That doesn't need to be illuminated. Nope.
Alright, how do I get there? Oh, yeah.
Hey, WP. I'd like another crack at that frugal Jojo Rococo pepper.
Back into the breach, eh? Admirable spirit! Have at it!
Gotta go numb my tongue first. Numb.
Ouch!
I'm not gonna make it last long. Quite a walk.
What happened to Morgan's body? Refreshing.
Okay. One.
Ow! What's it? My thumb! God, blah. No way am I picking up that pepper with my bare hands again.
Just lost the tongue, didn't I?
Ouch! Ow! What's it? My thumb!
Well, bust my balustrades! Well done, Captain Threepwood! You've conquered the Fugu Jalokia and have won the right to keep it as your own.
I love a clean living and a healthy Probably got permanent glossal damage, but it was totally worth it to get my hook on that pepper.
First course, napkin. Jungle meat. Feet. No, that's gotta be the guy in the jungle. Yeah, that's the pepper. Card. Carpet.
I better fold this up before I put it in my pocket.
Yeah. These guys are dangerous. knock out a rhino. Well, that's enough for a video. So thanks for watching. If you watched the whole thing, please leave a like. And bye bye.